What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a late review for Married to Medicine Season 11, Episode 3. The episode was titled Saddle Up Cowgirl, you guys. My bad that this is late, but we here. Better late than never. Is what they say. Shout out to Riley Burris. But yeah, you guys, before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. Ooh, excuse me. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of Married to Medicine, shall we? All right, you guys. So you guys know how the episode opens. It opens with the montage of the ladies. And so this episode, let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section, you guys. So I'll start this episode up with Miss Quad. Now, it was so funny because after I did my review last week, I saw that Belle from the Belle Perspective TV. She asked me who did I see it for on Married to Medicine, and I see it for. Sometimes I see it for Dr. Simone. Sometimes I see it for Dr. Jackie. No. I love Dr. Jackie, but I ain't got no problem calling Dr. Jackie out, right? I love Dr. Simone. I ain't got no problem calling Dr. Simone out, right? Heavenly, it be up and down when it comes to Dr. Heavenly. Toya, not really, right? Quad, y'all know how I feel about Quad and those voices. Y'all know Quad and them voices irritate my soul and irk my spirit. Y'all know that. If y'all been watching me since I started reviewing Married to Medicine, y'all know Quad and them voices irks my soul. But Quad in this episode, so we see her at home, and so she's cooking breakfast for she and King. So King calls her up and basically tells her like, hey, come outside. So she was like, but you got a key, like, come on in. And so she finally went outside where King was to see that King has gifted her a Rolls Royce. I was like, okay, I don't even want to count this man's pocketbook, but I was like, okay, cool. So he got her a Rolls Royce. Then he went to the trunk, and in the trunk there was a Louis Vuitton box in there, and I was like, okay. Now she did say he owns a luxury car rental place, right? And you guys remember, if you guys watched my Potomac Live, I said in that live that I met up with Rodney, Make It Make Sense, and Scott and them, and we all talked about this, right? And you know what? I'm gonna keep my 2 cents to myself because I was thinking something, and it's something that we all talked about. Well, no, I can go ahead and say it. Just because you own a luxury, like you own stuff, don't necessarily always mean that you just rolling in the money. But okay, he got her. I'm not gonna count that man's pockets. He got her a Rolls Royce, nice car. Then he got her Louis Vuitton, some Louis Vuitton luggage. I ain't even finna sit here and hate on it. The man did that for her, and she likes it. I love it, right? And that was really all we got with Quad. So next up, you guys, we move over to Toya. When I tell you guys, Toya ain't got no kind of tact whatsoever, like no tact. So Dr. Eugene has an office, right? So he's going to now. I don't know if they necessarily expounded upon this. Is he still working at the ER? I know he mentioned the ER, but I guess this little clinic that he has is just something for him to do on the side. I mean, y'all know how Toya is when it comes to living arrangements. They move from place to place to place to place, like nomads, right? But so they went down there. Now, when Toya talking about, she thought about some things that they can add to the business. I was like, girl, whose business is it? Is it his or is it yours? And I'm pretty sure it's the latter, but okay. So, because he's setting up a card reader, and in this office, he's going to be doing hormones. And so I forget which one of their sons it was that was with. I know it's the oldest one, or was it the youngest one? No, that's the oldest one. So they were talking to him about hormones, right? And Dr. Eugene was asking him like, what is the females? What is the not female women? What is the hormone that a woman produces, right? Now he said vagina. I was like, that's the female organ, hormones, estrogen. Whereas men, well, there are women. I know that there are women that produce. Well, there are men and women who can produce both estrogen and testosterone, right? But neither here nor there. So then Toya just went on down in a rabbit hole, and I felt uncomfortable for that little boy. I told y'all once before. I remember the first time that my mom wanted to have a conversation with me about sex. I was like, ma'am, you missed that bus a long time ago. Long ass time ago. Not really. When she asked me about it, baby, well, here's the thing. When she asked me about having sex, babe, I had been sexually active for at least about 4 or 5 years at that point. I had been sexually active for about 4 or 5 years when she asked me about it. And I was like, girl, we ain't finna have that conversation. I'm a grown ass man. We are not about to have that conversation. Yes, I said a grown man. I didn't lose my V card until I was 21 years old. Well, technically, that's a lie. Technically, that's a lie. Technically, that's a lie. Because I was doing other things. Because at 6, in the teenage years, I was doing other things, TMI. There were other things that were getting done as a teenager, right? If you catch my drift, there were other things that were being done. But then as I got at 21, that's when we did, we started doing other things. If you catch my drift. I don't know why I always get on this damn camera and give y'all Negroes my damn business. But it is what it is. So yeah, Toya was talking about wet dreams. Now I do remember the first time I had one of those, and I did not know what was going on. I was so confused because I woke up one morning and it happened. I was like, oh wow. And I was in, the thing was, I was so embarrassed, right? And damn it again, I'm giving y'all TMI. I was really embarrassed when it first happened, right? And I don't like when my mom used to wake me up for school. I wouldn't want to get, like, she would come in my room, wake me up. I wouldn't want to get out of bed, not necessarily because of that. It was because of other things, right? And so when I first noticed I was going through, when I first started going through puberty, I was like 9 or 10 years old, right? So I told her, we gonna have to switch, these underwear that I'm wearing, we gonna have to, get rid of them because this ain't what I want to wake up to every morning. So until we switched them, I won't get out of my bed in the morning. Because I just felt embarrassed. But again, so that's what Toya was talking to him about. And I was like, girl, this is not the conversation. Then she was talking about getting hair on his balls. He said I was like, Toya, tact, you lack it. So Toya is telling Eugene that they should, advertise one way and that they should add Botox to the what he does. I was like, is this your practice or is he the MD or are you the MD? Now, when she was talking about she used to work for Pfizer and what was the other one? Procter and Gamble. Sometimes you forget that Toya did work before Dr. Eugene because now she just, never mind, moving on. So, we just gonna go in order this episode. So next up we see Dr. Simone. So we see Dr. Simone. So she and Cecil, They went over to Michael and Miles' apartment, filthy as hell. Ugh. I don't know how they could live in that apartment. I just do not know. But Simone and Cecil went over there to clean up the boy's apartment. My mama would have never done that. Oh, which, you know what? She would. No. Let me stop lying. No, she wouldn't. No, she would not. Because when I was living with her when I was in college, she would not go in my room. That was for me to, like, she would say, you clean that. Everything, so no, she wouldn't. Nope, she wouldn't. She would not come into this apartment or any of the apartments, any of the 3 apartments that I've had, would she clean. She would make me do it. She would make me do it. But it's my place. It's my place. I pay for it. So, okay, right? But yeah, these are 2 grown ass men that should know how to clean. I hope they were embarrassed to see their apartment on national television looking like that. So Simone and Cecil cleaned up the apartment and they suggested that they charge them. I agree. Again, these are 2 able-bodied, grown-ass men. Clean up. So Simone is telling Cecil about Quad introducing him to King. Simone, girl, you like a dog with a bone at this point. I get it. You got your issues and grievances with Quad, but girl, this ain't it. This ain't it. It really, truly, the hell ain't it. But okay. But she, we did see Simone telling Cecil that she does owe Quad an apology. I agree. Here's the thing. I don't think that Simone was wrong with what she did at the reunion. My only grievance with Simone was the fact that when you saw how distraught Quad was, you should have just left it alone. When you saw that woman break down in tears, you should have just left it alone. Be like, out of respect for Quad, I'm not gonna go deeper into what it was, but just know I was there for her in a moment of tragedy in her life, and left it at that. Let's move on, you guys. Dr. Contessa, we see her with her own individual scene, and I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, why come they just didn't demote Phaedra, fire Phaedra, if they gonna, because Dr. Contessa is not in the credits. It's now Paige and Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, Dr. Heavenly, Toya, Phaedra, Letitia, Quad. Like, that's what's in the theme song. I would prefer for them to get rid of Phaedra. I really would. We'll get to her in just a minute. So Dr. Contessa has Phaedra and Letitia over to her home, right? So they did talk about Letitia and Heavenly at Whitnick. Here's the thing. Do I think Dr. Heavenly overreacted at Whitnick? Slightly, right? But we all, and before anybody can say anything, we all know how Heavenly is with any woman who talks to Damon. She gonna have an issue. So I know that. So I'm not upset, but I do think she overreacted, right? Now, Contessa, Dr. Contessa. I like Dr. Contessa, I really do. She can be annoying at times. And her last season, I found her rather annoying with the whole situation with Heavenly. Here's my thing. Like I've said plenty of times before, when it comes to Dr. Heavenly, we know Dr. Heavenly's MO. Dr. Heavenly gets in that closet, gets to talking shit about the girls on her YouTube channel with Carlos King, whoever. On Twitter, she gets to talking shit about her friends. But then she'll go back and apologize to them. But then she comes back and does it again. Y'all forgive her. Y'all know how she is. Here's my thing with you, Dr. Contessa. Yes, you're pissed off at her for saying something about your marriage, right? You know her Achilles heel. Her Achilles heel is Dr. Damon Daddy. When they go low, I know Michelle Obama said when they go low, we go high. But sometimes you got to meet a B-I-T-C-H, Biz-Not-E, B-I-T-C-H, B-I-C-T-H. You got to meet them where they are sometimes, right? Just to let them know. B-I-C-T-H or B-I-T-C-H or Biz-Not-E, I see you. Why not do that? So Letitia came over. What I'm gonna say when it comes to Letitia is, girl, I am so sick and tired of you. I don't have a problem with you. I don't dislike you, but I think you putting 20 on 10 when it comes to this whole situation with Heavenly, because the same thing, like you did some, Heavenly said some stuff about you. You said some stuff about her. She come back and said something about you. You come back and say something about her. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Y'all giving to each other. It's a tit for tat. Did she start it last season? Absolutely. But y'all kept it going. If you over it, at a certain point, you be like, you know what, Heavenly Girl, fuck you. I don't fuck with you. I ain't gonna talk about you if you don't talk about me. How about that? I apologize for bringing up your husband, but you should apologize for bringing up my husband. See how, but we wouldn't have a show though. So I know that. So Dr. Contessa, now here's the thing that I was kind of confused about. Why the fuck y'all telling Letitia about Quad and her new man? What they got to do with her? They're not friends. So I don't get what y'all telling her about Quad for. And then Letitia, why you talking about Quad in your interview about him having money? Girl, we could say you a gold digger too. Just saying. So Dr. Contessa wants to get the girls together for a girls trip. And we'll move on. Now, we see Dr. Heavenly with her son, Zach. I want to say something when it comes to Zach, but I'm going to keep it to myself. I think I've tweeted it before about Zach. Zach gives a vibe. And that's all I'm going to say. So Zach is going to dental school, and he's also interning at Dr. Heavenly's office, right? And she said he's on the payroll, but then she said he should be paying me. But it was nice seeing, him working with his mom, and the fact that he kept calling her mommy, and she was like, Dr. Kimes, mommy, Dr. Kimes. It was cute, right? So then we see another scene with Dr. Heavenly after she got her invitation for the trip that Phaedra, Contessa, and Letitia putting on, right? So she's talking about how messy Phaedra was when Phaedra had came over to her house asking her how things were between she and Contessa. No, Dr. Heavenly, girl, how the fuck you think that everything is good between you and Dr. Contessa when the last time we saw you and Dr. Contessa, y'all were going back and forth at the season 9 reunion? But okay. And Dr. Heavenly talking about, she apologizes to the girls. Dr. Heavenly, like I just said a few minutes ago, yes, she will apologize to the girls, but then you go back and do the same shit too. Like, so it just be like an empty ass apology. It really be like an empty ass apology if we're being honest with each other. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all agree, disagree, and we can move on. So after that, we get to Dr. Jackie. What happened with Dr. Jackie in this episode? Oh, so she's meeting up with a WNBA player and her partner. It said partner, so I don't know if they're just girlfriends or if they're wife and wife. I don't know. But I think they already have one son and they are looking to have another baby, but the girlfriend that plays for the WNBA, she wants to carry this baby, but she has fibroids, right? And Dr. Jack is going to have to take the fibroids out in order for her to be able to do IVF so that they can have a baby. That is the one thing that I truly love about Married to Medicine is how educational this show is and the things that you learn from Married to Medicine. But yeah, you guys, that's really all we got from Dr. Jackie. Let's get into Phaedra real quick. I don't really care about her. We're going to breeze through her. So we're getting ready for the trip. Apollo came over. And so she is in her feelings because of the fact that Toya saw Apollo in a store, asked Apollo what's going on in his relationship with Shireen, asked him if he's going to get back with Phaedra. Girl, she's trying to get something out of you because you are giving absolutely nothing on this show, right? She also said that she doesn't want his energy in her home. I was like, but girl, your energy is just as dark and negative too. And when did Phaedra start cussing? I don't remember Phaedra cussing on Real Housewives of Atlanta. The Southern Belle never cussed, but now the Southern Belle is wearing tight. And hear me loud and hear me clear. I ain't body shaming. I ain't slut shaming. I ain't doing no shaming. I don't give a damn how you want to dress. If you want to be a city girl, be a city girl out there busting it wide open for everybody, right? Do you? But the way that you presented to yourself to us on Real Housewives of Atlanta, this is why I didn't see it for you when you first came to Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I could tell you was a fraud. I knew that Southern Belle shit was an act with Phaedra. Oh, a Southern Belle does this. A Southern Belle does this. Like, I knew that Southern Belle bullshit was just that, a fucking act, right? But now you over here, Portia's doppelganger. Pick a lane. Stay in it. That's all I gotta say. Wrapping up the episode. Letitia and Dr. Gregory. So they're talking about, having a baby. I don't even want to picture Letitia and Dr. G, because they talking nasty to each other outside at one point in the episode. It was actually the beginning of the episode. I acted like I didn't hear it. So her sister's having a baby, and Dr. Gregory came home, and they were talking she's talking about the pain that she's still going through, and they were talking about IVF. So she asked him, like, does he have a timeline? And she says yes. He says 2 years, and I was like, okay. I was like, why don't y'all? Here's the thing that I will say, and this is not a negative or anything. It's just something that I thought about. Letitia's had, had her surgery, but who's to say that Letitia is the reason that they can't get pregnant? It could be Dr. G. Like, why don't y'all go get a sperm, get an analysis done on his sperm and see if his boys are swimming? I mean, because let's be for real, Dr. G is a man of a certain age. Now, granted, men can have babies up until their last day on earth, right? But that would be something that I would think that they should look into, and also look into adoption. And they did mention that, right? After she said that she felt pressure put on her. And that's the episode, you guys. If I missed anything, y'all know the routine. Leave it down in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, you guys. So today is Tuesday, so we will what's going on today? I know Beverly Hills and Married at First Sight come on tonight, right? So expect those reviews tomorrow. Now, you guys were in my Salt Lake City live last week where I was talking to Scotty. We haven't solidified anything yet, but he does want to do a panel. But y'all keep your eyes on the community tab. Once I know more about what he wants to do, then we'll give it to you guys. But that's it, you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video. Until the next time, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. 2 minutes left on my lunch break. Bye, y'all.